So our project was the exhaust filter. For more than 2 decades, global air pollution has been a problem for everyone, which causes an influx of respiratory and cardiovascular disease. In the 1990s, nitrogen oxide emissions from Asia surpassed those from North America and Europe and should continue to exceed them for decades. These sources were utilized for the problem statement displayed earlier. Initially, in the brainstorming phase of the project, we addressed the problem as specifically as air pollution. This led us to discover previous solutions such as a smog tower that collects carbon dioxide and processes them into diamonds, fashionable anti-pollution masks, and even a photosynthesis bike. We also thought of numerous solutions, first of them including metal plants that absorb carbon dioxide almost as effectively as real plants and that they could be placed virtually anywhere. Unfortunately, this idea was scrapped because of how unrealistic it sounded. The second solution was barely a solution at all. All it required was to just place algae on more objects like buildings, vehicles, etc. The third solution seemed the most plausible, however, and so we stuck with it. It was to build a portable air filter that attaches to car exhausts since they tend to release carbon monoxide and other pollutants. We went along with a simple list of constraints. Our project needed to be cheap to build, efficient, and practical. Here were the initial designs I devised in my engineering notebook. The first one included a sort of sleeve almost made out of a PVC pipe with hooks attached to attach the air filter material, and this end would serve as sort of a socket that would connect to the car exhaust. The second design included a cap, however, to sort of force CO to pass through this area, where it would have cuts on this PVC sleeve and a material on the outside. But this filter design was not a one-size-fits-all filter because this fit the exhaust of a 2009 Subaru Forester. If this prototype succeeds, then changes may be applied to fit multiple makes and models, since car makes and models really just differ in exhaust size. If the prototype were to succeed in these tests, then these inventions, this filter, may come in different exhaust sizes, and there would most likely be a rubber applied, like a rubber element to apply to the exhaust that was sort of attached like a sleeve. Originally in the design, we speculated that this wouldn't work because when a car exhaust is blocked, gas mileage is reduced and overall performance weakens. But after flaws in the original design, it was scrapped altogether because this design seemed too convoluted. However, the second design here seemed to be just right, and it was definitely simpler than the first. Here's the test. As you can notice, the material on the outside of the filter sort of moved around as the engine started, and it really would just remain static, or that it would just move like that and nothing would really happen.
I guess we just wrap it up.
I covered up one of the exhausts, so a faint smell would be noticeable, but yeah, here are the results. After the test, I noticed that the outer layer of filter position closer to the mesh came loose. I also disassembled the filter and couldn't seem to see any pollutants that were potentially blocked by the material from that one trial. In order to innovate this prototype, we might need to consult with chemists or scientists to devise the perfect filter. HEPA material may be too weak, and additional layers may also be installed appropriately.